Hey guys, what's up? Sean here, and I am still sick. I have been sick now for like 5 days. It's really annoying, and that's why I haven't been making content. I did make one yesterday, but upon listening back to it, I sounded so dead and out of it that I just decided it was best that that wasn't used as content. So, I didn't use it. It's not part of the plans, but I do have plans for morning videos where we're going to kind of discuss. It's probably going to be a lot about competitive Call of Duty, because that's where I really care about this game, but other Black Ops 3 related topics. Kind of like a vlog style thing, but shorter videos. I think I'm going to use like gun game, or if I have short clips, like I have to go check in theater mode if the game's still there. But there was a really cool one, like this last second like hardpoint battle we had, and like it was a really close like 3-point score basically. So I wanted to use that one as well. So, like, you know, short clips or gun game or just something that's quick, short, kind of like a vlog style sort of thing. But, that's not what we're talking about, so I'm going to shut the fuck up on that. Who gives a fuck? This is the 48 Dredge. This gun is dumb. The LMGs in general are dumb, if you ask me. And it's not because there aren't good assault rifles. It's because with an LMG, like, you have so many bullets that, yes, you have to take a while to reload, but like, you know, I can get fucking 10 plus kills before I reload. Like, I don't know. I don't think any gun that's like a 1 burst or 2 bullet kill, like the Gore gun, whatever it's called, like, I don't think any gun like that should have so many bullets that I can just spam a doorway and basically lock it down for like 10 seconds, you know. That's how I feel. But that's not what this is about. So, this video is about the fact that I tweeted David Vonderhaar and asked him, you know, did you want to see Capture the Flag in competitive this year? Because I remember back in Black Ops 2, he was kind of adamant about having domination in there, and we didn't end up using it. And, I mean, that was probably a good decision. We had Hardpoint, CTF, and Search and Destroy that season, and it was the biggest season that competitive Call of Duty's ever had. So it worked out, and I think it was the most fun, and domination is pretty bad. So it was weird to me that this time around, at the very least, in Arena, for the start, they didn't have Capture the Flag in there, and they had Uplink only, and I thought that was weird, so I thought I'd ask him. Now, A, I didn't expect a response. Like, I didn't expect him to say anything. And B, I didn't expect him to quote me. So when he quoted me, slash retweeted, my mentions exploded. And I was on the train, and, like, I couldn't use my phone. Like, it was just, it lost its mind for, like, the better part of an hour. It was ridiculous. And I'm not going to say that I started this or that it was all me, because I'm sure it was probably in his head and probably in other professional players' heads and such things, because like JCap responded right away, and like I assume that other people had thought of this. But at the very least, I asked that question, a bunch of people responded to him, he responded obviously by, you know, starting the conversation. He then posted on the Reddit page to discuss it, you know, further with people, and, you know, ask them, like, he's going to add it to Arena, and he wants to have it tested out real quick, and, you know, have the pros and cons of Uplink and CTF listed off, so that we can make a decision, because the first season's coming up soon, and, like, we don't have time to, like, you know, do nothing, basically, and not make a decision. And he wants to know, like, which maps work, which ones don't, and why. And so I really, first of all, I appreciate Vonderhaar, A, you know, responding and being active, but also, like, pursuing this as a thing. Like, he didn't just, like, say, oh, we'll look into it. Like, you know, a lot of devs do that, and I don't necessarily mean that they don't mean it, but they don't bring in more of a discussion. They just kind of say, yeah, okay, and then just move on. It's kind of sucky, because it at least feels like you're not getting anywhere. Like, you just got an automated response from a robot, and it's not a real thing. So I appreciate the discussion being started, and I'd like to think that I at least helped start it today. It probably would have started tomorrow or next week, but I started it today, and I did it not because I hate Uplink. I don't love Uplink, but Uplink's cool, I guess. I just started it because I love CTF. And I'll be honest, Ghost disappointed me to death, because they didn't even have CTF in the game, and I thought Blitz was awful. And the way I, you know, kind of described it today was, to me, Blitz is the lowest tier. Uplink is Blitz but improved, and then I think CTF is Uplink but improved. Like, I think, Uplink makes Blitz a functional game type, and CTF makes Uplink a great game type. Now, I understand Advanced Warfare from, what I've read and the things that happened last year. The pros eventually decided to drop it and not play CTF for the remainder of the season. And a lot of that was based on the exosuits and the movements that come with that, and just the speed that it made the game type play at, which isn't really suitable for CTF, but was extremely good for Uplink. There was a lot of things you could do, with that style of movement in Uplink that didn't really fit CTF. But in this game, without the exos, it's kind of the opposite, right? This game's a little bit slower paced, which kind of is in CTF's favor. And, we have to play it, and we have to see the maps and the spawns and the way that it works. But I'd like to see it given a shot, and it's going to get its shot now. And part of the discussion also was whether or not 4 game types is too many, and I think we largely agree that they are. Now, I pointed out that I'm pretty sure for Advanced Warfare, for at least half the season, they played all 4. So I don't know why it's completely out of the question, but it's probably fair to take it out, only because if you think about it, I don't know exactly the format of this upcoming year, like what the professional teams are going to play under, but assuming that not every series is a best of 5, what you kind of get into is one of these game types is going to be neglected when it comes to practice. So if you assume that Uplink only comes into a series in a best of 5, and otherwise you play the core 3, like Hardpoint, Search, and CTF, you're going to run into a situation where Uplink isn't a practice game mode, and therefore people won't want to play it, on short notice, and it'll be poor from a spectator experience, because the teams aren't good at it. They're not practiced at it. So I think in that sense, having 4 game types is kind of not a great idea. And you could bring it in like a tiebreaker scenario, like these kind of things. But again, it goes back to that, like, you didn't practice it. So the one other thing I thought of, which is probably bad, like, I think the CTF overtime with the stopwatch is pretty much perfect. But I thought maybe, like, if CTF kind of became Uplink in an overtime scenario with, like, the ball in the middle, that could be an interesting concept, I think. My only rule would be you can't throw it in. You have to, dunk it in or whatever. But, A, that requires a lot of changing of the core game. And it probably also isn't as great as stopwatch, or at least stopwatch is probably more fair. So I'm happy to see CTF getting a shot here. I kind of want to know what everyone's thoughts on this are. Obviously, we're going to have to see, but I think one good way to do it from a larger perspective is in Arena. I know the pros kind of have the loudest voices and get the final say, and that's fine. That's fair. But, from my perspective, I want it in Arena, and I'd like to get to try it out, and where I'm not currently on a full active roster, I'm not team scrimming, I can't try it out like that. So this will give a lot more input, even if it's, considered less than because of just the unknown voices that are expressing the opinion from Arena. So, anyways, that's what I wanted to say today. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this cold will go away so I don't sound like I'm dying to you every time, and I can start making more stuff, but I'll see you all later.